JSP.
Yeah, we started with JSP. So JSP stands for
Java server pages.
JSP stands for what? Java server pages, mainly used to separate the presentation logic and business logic. Hello, Soumya.
Yeah, Raj.
Yeah, hi. Let's start it.
Hi, Raj.
Yeah, hi. So what is the main use of chain for JSP? To separate the presentation logic and business logic. And we have seen the JSP tags. So what is the use of page directive?
For import Java package.
Yeah, it is used to import the Java packages and to set the content type and even use it to handle the exceptions. Okay. Hello, Vanilla.
Yeah, hi, Raj.
Yeah, hi. So, what is the use of page directive? It is used to import packages, to set the content types and to handle the exceptions. And what is the use of include directive?
Oh, it's used for to include the files of HTML or JSP other pages.
Right. It is used to include other JSP pages or even HTML also. Okay. And we have seen the scriptlet tags. Like what is the symbol of declaration tag?
Percent exclamation.
2%
Percentage
exclamation.
declaration. And what is the use of declaration tag?
Used to define variables and methods.
Right. Used to declare variables and to define methods. And what is the symbol of expression tag?
Percentage only.
Percentage equal to, not percentage only. Percentage equal to
Percentage
expression.
equals. Yeah,
Percentage
right.
equal to. Okay. And what is the use of expression tag?
To read the values.
Yeah, to read the value of variables and to call
Functions.
right,
Functions.
to call the methods. Hello, Sritani.
Hi, Raj.
Yeah, that's the next one we are having the script tag. The symbol of script tag is percentage. So what is the use of script tag?
We can use for declaring and initialization.
Yeah, any Java code. Any Java code we can write it in. We can write it in what? In script tag. Okay. So it's any Java code only. We cannot declare the variables or to define the methods. The declaration part should be done with the exclamation, and to define the methods we use again exclamation only. Declaration tag. But here any other Java code we write using script. Hello, Monica.
Hi, Raj.
Yeah. So in the last class we have seen an example how to go with these tags like declaration tag, expression tag, and script tag. Let us do one more example to understand more of these tags. So for this one, I'm going with a program like create a HTML file. Create a HTML file. Let me call it as color.html file, which is used, which accepts a color from user. Create a JSP page which reads the color from HTML form, HTML file, and displays the background of a page with a given color. With a given. Okay. So let us understand this with a diagram. That's what we are going to do. I'm saying some bgcolor.png. So here in this one, the application is we are going to create one HTML file where we are going to accept a color. Let me give the name of the HTML file as color.html, where we accept a color. enter a color, we accept in the form of text field. And one submit. And one submit. So when you click on the submit button after filling the color, like example, if I am giving some color like pink, then when we click on submit button, it should connect to a JSP page. It should connect to what? A JSP page. Let me give the name of the JSP page as bgcolor.jsp. So in this bgcolor.jsp should read the color value, and if the color is pink, then if the value of color equal to pink, then the back on the web page it should display the background color pink. The background color of your web page should become what here? Clear this one up here?
Yes.
Right? Now, if you have not entered any color, if you have not filled any color, or so you have entered some space, then the background color, what we want to make it as white. The background color is white. Then the message what we want to give for this one is on the web page. Here we say the message background color pink. Here we give the message background color white, the default color will. Okay, say we have not entered any color. Color equal to null or space. Okay, then the background color we want to make it as clear with the task, all of you?
Yes.
Right? So let's
Yeah.
do this code now. So let us write this code. So for that, let us write the code like refer programs color.html and bgcolor.js. So right click on web project and say new HTML color. Create a form action equal to bgcolor.jsp. Accept a color. So I'm giving the name of the text field as bgcolor. Then a submit button. Value equal to submit. So when you click on submit, it will connect to the JSP page bgcolor.jsp. Right? Clear with this file, all of you?
Yes.
Right. The next one, major one, bgcolor.jsp. In this. So what is our first step? We need to rate the color from your HTML form. So for that, I am writing the script code. So you can say string bgcolor equal to request.getParameter of bgcolor. Then once you rate the color, now we have to check whether it is null or space. So user may enter no value or you might have entered space. Then we have to set the bgcolor as well. How to do that? You can check it. If value of bgcolor equal to null or some users may enter spaces also. So again we have to check if bgcolor.trim dot equals. Can you know how many spaces the user will enter?
I don't know.
Can you know how many spaces the user will enter? No idea, right? So we are removing all the white spaces. We are removing the spaces. How to remove the spaces? By using trim. And we compare with no space. So clear with this method? Trim method, all of you?
Yeah.
Right? If the user have not entered any color or if has entered some spaces, then we have to make bgcolor as what? White. We are giving the value of bgcolor as well. There. How to set the background color of a web page? Body bg color equal to. Now the value of variable should come. The value of variable should get represented. What is that variable name? bg color. So how to set the background color of the web page? Body. In that we use an attribute called as bg color, and we have to take the value of bg color. It may be the value what you have entered, or it may go with white if you have entered spaces. Then the message is background color, and the value should come. So again, you can say percentage equal to bg color. Clear? Clear this code?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Megan and Monica?
Yeah. Yes.
Thomas Regina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swati Vinila?
Yeah.
Right? Let us run the application from color.html. So where we have to enter the color, if you have entered pink, then when you click on submit, the background of your web page will be pink, and with the message background color pink. And if you have not entered any color or spaces, it will go with white. Done. Let us go with one more example, which you have done this code in Servlets. Let us do the same code with JSP. That is
Raja, I have a question. Is it possible to include external CSS in the JSP file?
This is same as usual. HTML code, because in HTML we write your JSP code, okay? It's all your HTML code only. In between HTML we are writing.
Okay. Okay.
Here only can add the styles here. So you can go with the head section. In the head section you can go with style and you can define the styles.
Okay.
If I am using some tags in JSP code, that tags will get reflected with your styles.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Create a HTML file which accepts the employee details. Do you remember this code? So we have accepted employee details and we have displayed the details in tabular format in Servlets. The first program to read from that. We have accepted employee number, name and salary, and we have displayed the data in tabular format. Do you remember that code?
Yes.
Right? Same program we are going to do with JSP. So create HTML file which accepts employee details from the user. Create a JSP page which reads the employee details from HTML file and displays the details in tabular format. In tabular format. Okay. Refer programs. Employee.html, employee.jsp. So let me take the code of emp.html, previous one. Same code to design your form. Click on the project or web content and say new HTML. Here we are saying employee.html. So here, when you go with action, what each page you have to connect employee.jsp. Employee.jsp. So where we accept the employee number, name and salary. So when you click on submit, it should connect to employee.jsp. So create a JSP page. Employee.jsp. So where we have to display the data in tabular format. How to go with tabular format? Very simple. So think of presentation. Table border. So create a first row. In the first row, What you are having? Table heading. Table heading, employee number. Then the value of employee number should come. Employee number and the value of employee number should come. So how to take the value of employee number? Directly we can say percentage equal to request dot parameter of ENO. Clear now? How fast we can develop using JSP? So your first row is completed. Similar way, you can go with others. So the presentation will be very easy in the case of JSP. Employee name and the value of email. Employee salary, the value of salary. Clear all of you this code? How to go with JSP, the same program?
Yeah.
Right, everyone?
Yeah.
Run the application from HTML file. Enter the data. So when you say submit, it will display the data in Tabular Format. Right? So got some basic idea of all these three tags: declaration, expression, and script tag. All of you?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Let us go with the major part for today. That is JSP Implicit Objects. Even we call it as predefined objects. So we are having totally nine implicit objects in JSP. Let me list out with the diagram. JSP implicit objects. Very important during interview times, the implicit objects. So we are having totally 9 implicit objects. Remember the count to get the list easily. So let me write the object. And this may be an object of a class or interface. It can be an object of a class or interface. Like example, if you consider we are in totally nine objects like out, request, response. We are having this config, application, session, page context, and exception. So these are the 9 implicit objects. Okay. Out is an object of which class? Can you guess?
JSP writer.
Very good. JSP writer, not printer. Okay, it's a class. Okay. Request. Request is an object of
HTTP JSP
right.
base.
HTTP, not JSP. HTTP servlet request as usual. HTTP
Okay.
servlet request, which is an interface. Okay. Response.
HTTP servlet response.
HTTP servlet response. Then config. So just recollect your servlets. You can answer easily. Where we discussed config, some word config.
Java servlet config.
Yeah, servlet config. Okay. Do you remember servlet config? Last day of servlets.
Oh, okay.
Servlet config interface is used to read initial parameters from web.xml. Same thing. So directly we can use servlet config. Application. We are having one more thing which is used to read values from the context parameters from web.xml file global. Its interface is
servlet context.
So since it is for the complete application, they have given the object name as application. Session.
HTTP session.
Then page is object, which is a class. Then page context is page context. Then exception.
Exception.
Exceptionally, what is the topmost class under hierarchy?
Runnable.
Throwable.
Throwable.
So it's a class. Okay. So these are the 9 implicit objects we are having. So this outer request response will be keep on using. Okay. Page maximum we won't use it all. Then let us see the examples of config, application session, page context, and exception. Okay. Let us go with the first one, config implicit object. Config implicit object. So what is the use of config? To read initial parameters from web.xml file to a particular JSP, we should say, not servlet, to a particular JSP. So servlet means servlet config we have to create. Here it is for when you want to send some data to JSP page, we use this config. Say config is an implicit object of servlet config interface, which is used to read initial parameters from web.xml file into a particular JSP page. So when you want to send some data to a particular JSP page, we use this config implicit. So let us understand with programs. So the name of the JSP page, I am creating config demo.jsp, and we need to pass the data from web.xml file. Okay, so let us go to this web.xml file first. Send this one. Here, how to send the data to a particular JSP is like this. Just add some piece of code in between web like this. Servlet name, we are saying config, your wish. Then here we have to connect to a JSP page. We have to connect to what? A JSP page. So here we have to say JSP file. Because there is no servlet class, so we have to say JSP file. And which JSP file we are going to send the data? Config demo.jsp. We have to pass the name of the JSP file, where you are going to read this initial parameters. Then in between, we pass the initial parameter like this. Init param name, I'll say some driver, param class, param value, com.mysql.jdbc.driver. That's it. Okay. So I'm passing only one initial parameter. So this initial parameter we can write in config demo.jsp. Okay. Next one, when we use servlet, we have to use servlet mapping. Servlet mapping. So for which URL it should open this servlet mapping. The servlet name is config URL pattern. When we run this config demo. When we run the config demo.jsp, if the URL pattern is config demo.jsp, the name is config. We are referring to the JSP file called as config demo.jsp. To that config demo, we are passing the initial parameter. Here, all of you, how to write the code in the web.xml file?
Yes.
Right, everyone? Now, read these initial parameters in JSP page. For that, create a JSP page. Right click on project or web content. It's a new JSP. here config demo.js. How to read initial parameter? Very simple. We can just say a driver class percentage equal to, directly we can use the config object here. Directly we can use config object, and what's the method name? Get initial parameter of driver. That's it. A simple way to read initial parameters from web.xml file just by using the predefined object file. Run this code. Right, we got the output. From.mysql.jdb.driver. Clear all of you how to make use of config object? Everyone?
Yes.
The next one, application. Application implicit object. What is use of application? To read context parameters from web.xml file, right? Application is for what purpose? To read context parameters from web.xml. So you can say application is an implicit object of servlet context interface, which is used to read context parameters, which is global parameters, from web.xml file. From web.xml. Refer programs. Application.jsp and web.xml file. So in web.xml file, already we have created a context parameter. Do you remember? Already we have created one context parameter, right? Gold rate. Already we are having context parameter gold rate, so whose value is 30%. So I want to read this context parameter. So to read context parameter, we have to use application implicit object. Let me show you. You can see here, gold rate percentage equal to, which object we have to use? Application. Same method, get init parameter of gold rate. That's get init parameter. Now if you run this program, we get the value of gold rate as what? 30%. Clear all of you how to make use of application implicit object to read initial context parameters?
Yeah.
So config is only particular to a related JSP page or servlet, and context is for what? Servlet context or application implicit object to the complete web application. Anywhere we can read these values. Global. The next one, we are having session. What is use of session? To track the user sessions, right? Session is an implicit object of HTTP session interface, which is used to read, which is used to track the user session. User session using attributes. Using attributes. So let us see the examples. Refer programs. Session1.html, JSP session1.jsp, JSP session2.jsp. So in session1.html, where we accept some input from the user, which we use it for tracking the session. Session1.html. Here we will say form action equal to JSP session 1 dot JSP. Accept some data, your wish. A submit button. So when we click on submit, it connects to JSP session 1 dot JSP. In JSP session 1 dot JSP, we read this data. Here we read the code. String username equal to request dot get parameter of username. So first we are reading the name of the user, the value what you have entered. The value what you have entered. Now we use this value for tracking the session. One second. So once you accept the username, then make this username as the attribute. Make this username as the attribute. Like this. Session dot set attribute. Session dot set attribute. Username. Session dot set attribute username and the value of username. And the value of username. Okay. There. This attribute we can use it in the next sessions. So we are just setting the session. Then how to connect to the next page is here you can say a href equal to JSP session 2. Okay, JSP session 2 dot JSP. JSP session 2 dot JSP, where we say your next page. Okay, so when you click on the next page, it will connect to what again? It will connect to JSP session 2 dot JSP. Right? Then in JSP session 2, we get the attribute. In page 1, we set the attributes. In page 2, we get the attributes. So I'm creating one more JSP page. JSP session 2 dot JSP. So here we go for. So you can see a string username equal to session dot get attribute. Same programming, whatever we have linked. In Servlets, we are doing the same thing. Username. So in page 1, that is session 1, we have set the attribute. Here we are getting the attribute. So go for casting. Because get attribute return type is what? Get attribute return type is object. So we are going with casting here. Then once we take that username here, check it. If the value of username not equal to null, means if you are coming properly, then we give the message out.println welcome and the value of username. Else we'll say out.println invalid session. So if you are opening the page directly, we'll say invalid session. Right? Run this code. When you run this session to directly, we get the message invalid session. So if you are running from session1.html, we get the proper details. So here we are entering some name, your wish. And when we say submit, it will say next page. When you click on next page, it will say welcome. Okay. Right? Clear all of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions, anyone?
No.
Right, then the next one. Running the next one. Page context. Page context implicit object. This one also looks similar to your session object only, but a small difference. Page context in implicit object. One second, everyone. So the use of this page context in implicit object is page context is an implicit object of you can say like page context class. Page context class, it's a class which is used to set, get and remove attributes, which is used to set, get and remove attributes from the following scopes. The scopes are like page, request, session and application. We are in totally 4 scopes. Okay, we are in totally what? 4 scopes: page, request, session and application. And the default scope is page. The meaning of page scope is with your attribute, whatever you are setting the attribute, that attribute is used only within the same page. So when you set it for request means until you are in the request. Your attribute can be used. Then session scope means what? Until you are in the session, means from one page if you are connecting to the next pages. Okay, so then we say it as session scope. Request scope means we have to use request dispatcher. Using request dispatcher, if you are connecting to the next pages, then it is called as request scope. Then if you are just linking to the next pages, we call it a session scope. Okay, either using hyperlinks or actions. If you are going to the next pages from one page to other page, we say session scope. Application scope is entire web application. Clear all these 4 scopes? All of you?
Yes.
Right? Page means within the same page. Request scope means using request dispatcher, we have to connect to the next pages. Session means just using hyperlinks or some form action, we can go to the next pages, that is session scope. Application is complete entire web application. Clear? Right? Let us go with an example application on this. Refer programs. Page context.html. Page context 1.jsp. page context 2.jsp. Page context 1.jsp, page context 2.jsp. Let us understand. In HTML, we accept the form data. Page context dot html. So design a form action equal to page context 1.jsp, where we accept some name. Your wish, any data. Input type equal to text, name equal to name. So the value of this name we want to use it as an attribute. Okay. A submit button. So when you click on submit, we connect to this page context 1.jsp. Create a JSP page. Page context 1.jsp. So in this one, we read the script code. String name equal to, we are reading the name from HTML form. Request.get parameter of name. So this name we want to use it for setting the attribute like this. Page context dot set attribute, and you can say the name of the attribute as name and the value is name, and this attribute you want to use it in which scope. If you are not mentioning any scope here, it will go with the page scope. If you want to set this attribute for other scopes, then we have to mention the value like this. Page context dot, if I say here session scope means what? Within the complete session. Until you are in the session, this attribute we can able to use. So if you are saying request scope, it is used only within the request. Then if you say application scope, it can be used in the complete web application. Here, let me go with session scope. Clear all of you? The need of this page context, the difference between session and page context. Session is only within the session, but whereas this one, page context is for different scopes. Either page scope or request scope or session scope or application scope. Got it, everyone?
Yeah.
Hello, Shivam. So I'm unable to unmute you from my end. So just some more time. Yes, you can use the messages, Shivam. Instead of rejoining, you can use the messages. Okay, Shivam? Okay, right. So what we are doing here, we are going with session scope in this example. Then, so once we set the attribute to the session scope, then connect to the next page. Ahref equal to page context 2.jsp. Then we say a next page. So when we click on this next page link, it will connect to page context 2.jsp. Right click on web content and say new JSP page context 2.jsp. No, that is not possible, Shivam. If I set the attribute with page context, then I can read the values only with the page context only. Got it? Right? Only page context. Now, see it. So let us see how to get the attribute now. So you can say get string name equal to. So to get the attribute, now we have to use page context only. Page context dot get attribute. What is attribute name? We have used it name, and from which scope we have to read? Page context dot session scope. Page context dot session scope. Since we have set using session scope, using page context, so we have to read from the page context. Go for casting. There. You can say outer println name equal to the value of name. So the main use of page context is to set the attributes or to get the attributes or to remove the attributes from the scopes. Then we go for this page context. So when you want to send the data to the different scopes, we use page context. Anchor some name. So when you say submit, it will just give a link called as next page. When you click on next page, we get the names. Clear? Jyoti Meghana? The use of page context?
Yes.
Yes.
Monica Shivam?
Yeah.
Soumya Srutina?
Yeah.
Swati Vinila?
Yeah.
Then we are in the next one, that is exception. So exception will take more time for us. So in tomorrow's class, we'll be discussing about exception, how to handle exceptions in JSP. And after that, we'll go with the next part, JSP action tags. So tomorrow even we are going to discuss about JSP action tags. Then the next day, we go with the custom tags and JSP. So day after tomorrow, we are going to close our JSP concepts. Then after that, I'm going to discuss about JavaScript and jQuery. Then we'll develop a big application using jQuery validations in JSP. A very good application. Okay.
Okay.
Right. This week totally we complete JSP. Right, everyone?
Okay.
So that's about for today. So any questions, anyone?
No.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you all. See you tomorrow with the next concepts of JSP. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raj.